Hey guys, we have another fun episode of Craft Tea for you today. We had a special co-host, and also the show kind of stayed on point, kind of went off the rails a little bit, but we definitely had a lot of fun, and I think you guys are going to enjoy it, so stay tuned.
Well, as you can see, we're still having tea.
Welcome back to Craft Tea, everyone. Episode 24. We have kind of a guest, kind of not a guest, I guess.
Kind
Sean-
of not a guest, I guess. What a
Well,
word.
so Sarah's at home watching the baby because we're shorthanded. It's just, it's the way it goes.
I thought she was going to be just at home watching Vanderpump
With the baby.
with the baby.
With the baby, yeah.
This is a huge responsibility to be covering for the boss, and not Bruce Springsteen or Rick Ross boss. This is Sarah Lively boss, so I got to do her right here. And
Well, I told Sarah, I said, I want to keep having guests. And she was like, well, Sean's kind of a guest. I was like, you were already fucking on now.
I know I'm a repeater at this point.
You're our first recurring guest. Well, actually, you're our first guest that is now co-hosting.
I have a lot to say.
I know you had a lot to say about my art right off the fucking bat.
Yeah, before this thing started, for the listener or watcher out there, that this was apparently a need placed piece before this thing gets started. This
It's my centerpiece.
his centerpiece work of art was sitting on the ground, and it had to be placed on the table before things got started. So.
And lit. I can't believe you had to ask what it was.
Yeah, because I still not quite sure what it is. It's just a
lamp.
box with some, but it's a nice little nightlight you got going on. But Jason, you want to fill in the listeners on what's happening this week,
Wait, what's happening this week?
or what has happened? This airs on a Monday. So what happened yesterday? What did the glitter guy release?
Like talking about product stuff.
Come on,
We came out with Epoxy.
you gotta sell.
Bring it out. I think I said it in the first. Oh my god, he brought the Epoxy.
Big week, baby.
Parts A and parts B, brother.
This is why I pay you, because you're my salesperson. I don't like selling stuff.
We're not selling nothing, actually. We're giving it out for free.
What?
For everybody on the comments, the posts,
Don't even try it.
code word banana. No, don't try it.
Sean, you.
Did I make this out of epoxy? No. I
No,
didn't make
you
this.
compared this to a duct tape banana.
I did before we jumped on air here. We got live. He said it was a work of art. I was trying to understand the art by looking at it, and I was like, man, well, the old duct tape banana effect here. That is a work of art. I don't know if anybody out there watches Always Sunny, but then there was the Mantis Toboggan character who saw an air conditioner in an art display, and then he deciphered that as art, and people were really wowed by that.
That's actually craft related. What even is art?
What is art?
I feel like
Art
with
can
all
be
the
Shia LaBeouf with a paper bag on his head.
crypto art and all the crazy stuff. They're like, is this even like art?
Well, we have that conversation, right, Sean?
AI
about
art?
AI art, because it's an art in itself to figure out the keywords to get what you want generated.
It's true. It's the key. It's all in the keywords. Like Jason showed me how to do the way of AI art,
This is the way.
and I have been.
Don't sue me.
I have been like, it's been like one of my hobbies when I go home. I like to go home and sit on the. Do I give trade secrets out? Where do we go with this? Discord. The Mid-Journey app?
Mid-Journey's well known.
Okay. I don't know. This is how much of a boomer I am.
Well, I mean, you're only further exposing when you talk about it every time. I do kind of cringe every time I say Mid-Journey out loud because I feel like I'm giving away like a little more. It's like, yeah. Everybody get off of my processing power. I'm wondering why my shit generates slower every day.
Yeah. Because you got people like me, when I go home, like I have fun just giving it the prompt words and just coming up with a weird, ridiculous idea, and then like typing it and trying to get the desired look that I'm looking for. And it all is in the keywords. I made as people may know out there, I also do.
And understanding the boundaries of what it can be
capable of.
I think that's part of it, is testing the boundaries. Because if you give it too many commands, it gets real fucking weird.
It gets super weird.
You start having like lines and shit through stuff, and then like stuff has two heads and shit. You can tell it just gets confused.
Things molded in, like faces look deformed, or there's missing limbs. That seems to be a big thing.
There's ships that are in the air for whatever.
Ships in the air. That's the big thing.
There's a Craft Expo artwork. If anybody zooms in close enough, I don't even remember which one. You have to like dig through all the artwork on the site, but one of them,
ships in the air.
In the backdrop, it took a boat and put it in the air like a fucking airplane. Like, I swear, you zoom into it, and I was like, you can't even fucking tell. Sean saw it. Sean was like, is that a boat in the air?
Yeah, I picked up on it immediately, but now because I'm keen to the world of the AI art, so. Like I said, one of my favorite things to go home is I like to go home and just play with the Discord and try to give it commands and see if I can come up with like pretty rad artwork. Because people know I throw parties, events, so for me, it's like an easy tool to use to come up with illustration type artwork. Especially since I'm such a procrastinator, it's hard for me to sometimes give an artist 3 weeks lead time that they need to create this piece of art that could be literally made within 30 seconds. And it will give you 4 different type of options within 30 seconds.
So usually the artwork for something, for any event, I feel like in the planning stages, is like the last thing on your fucking mind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're like that because the artwork is... It's important to get the word out there and everything like that, but it's just like, I feel like when you start planning an event, you're right away, it's just like, all right, well, I gotta have like the people. I gotta have, you know...
For me, it's the first thing on my mind because it's like... Yeah. It's like the cover of a book. It's like kind of what sells the book. Like when you go to Barnes and Nobles or whatnot, or remember back in the day when you used to go to record shops or CD shops, you used to check out the cover artwork. That was the selling. That's the selling point before you dive into the whatever it is.
If it's the first thing that you think about, then why don't you?
That's a great question.
Graphic artists right away.
That's a great question. Is because I also have trouble trying to explain, because if, I don't know if how many people have, people may do illustration or work at home or work with, you kind of the same way how you tell a engine how to build what you're looking for, you have to be able to explain that to a graphic artist and for them to understand you. Like, I don't know what
and you don't get it real time to be able to give it a new set of commands. That's correct. That's, I guess, the beauty and the downfall, I guess, in the way things are going, that you get that immediate, like, oh, I wanted, say, cats playing the saxophone or whatever, and then you tell it to do that. Yeah. And they're not quite what you were looking for. Like maybe the cats are older cats. You're like, oh, wait. I want kittens playing a saxophone. You do that. I don't. But like now the art, if you told an artist that, it might have took them like 2 days to draw these fucking cats.
And then
cats.
you feel
like,
bad.
Bro, I got to do these cats.
I got to do it all over
from
again. From
scratch, because it's like a whole different aged cat. It's not even like you asked for a different colored cat.
Cats from scratch.
I think it's also something
scratch cats
to keep in mind is that often what we're asking the AI to do is things that don't exist in reality.
It's
like
true.
If you just told it a dog, it could probably do a dog really well or a cat really well. But when it's like a tiger riding a whale in space shooting lasers,
you're giving
it has to like learn what those things look like. And I think that's actually, when you understand how AI works, that's why you get ships in the air. Because what do you mostly have pictures of? Ships on horizons, ships with the sky involved. So the computer understands, okay, ship needs to have sky. Yeah. So when it makes sky or ship, that you're more likely to get that kind of output.
Yeah, like I did. I was feeling like I like to come up with goofy ideas, and one of the things that I try to feed AI for a flyer artwork design I was thinking about was like, all right, let's do a hot dog in a bun wearing a tutu while shooting ketchup and mustard in the air and dancing. And AI was like, I have no idea what a hot dog is. Because it gave me the
A
weirdest...
dog on fire.
No, it wasn't a dog. It was like hot dog, like tone, like as far as colorization, and nailed that. But like the shape was like not hot dog. I mean, I wouldn't eat a hot dog that had like an ice cream cone finish shape to it.
Maybe you should have told it like Frankfurter or something.
Maybe it's German AI and that's how they understand it. I don't know, but it's funny. Like I have paid a lot of money being an event, a meat log. Maybe we'll try that when we get off air.
I don't think.
And maybe
that's not going to generate.
Maybe I'll get the results I'm looking for.
It's going to tell you that this crosses the boundaries of explicit content or whatever. It's going to be like, nope. You're like, what do you mean? I just this was innocent. I wanted an innocent meat.
But I've paid a lot of money to illustrators over time. I have paid so much money, which is great. It's all good and dandy because I like to support artists, but it's like, you know, and I've gotten some insanely great work back from great artists. But recently I did my first AI generated illustration flyer, and then I posted it, and it was like the most interaction I've ever gotten from any piece of artwork that I've ever put out there. And people were like blowing me up, like, man, this art is crazy. It's so good. It's so sick. Who did it? And I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to. I did. Yeah. I felt weird.
You designed it. You didn't make it. You didn't create it, but you designed it.
So that's what's interesting about it. The artwork that I came up with, and maybe we'll show it in the screen, but it was like I wanted 95 collapse in here in Philadelphia was such a big topic, and I thought it'd be so fun to incorporate that in the artwork. But I have a boat party, so I wanted to incorporate 95 collapsing with a boat party in Philadelphia. What does that look like? And then after trying different keywords and all this other stuff, I got exactly what I was looking for, and it looked so rad. It was like a highway, like broken down, demolished next to the Ben Franklin Bridge. When you say Philadelphia, it was like, oh yeah, Ben Franklin Bridge exists. That's a thing, so we'll put that in there. And then it had boats like kind of sailing right under it. The only thing it couldn't understand was like it didn't understand what 95 is. It's like, I don't know what a 95 is. That's I don't know. So I went on Google image search, grab a 95 sign, cut it out, and tossed it into the artwork, just pasted it into the artwork. And that was that was my rendition of a collapsed 95. And people were hitting me up like, dude, that's crazy. And then when I told a few people that was AI, like, what the hell type of commands did you give it to get that result? You know,
I'm not telling.
That's what I'm saying. That is the recipe. The commands are the recipe. That is how you create good AI art. It's your recipe.
It is, but only for so long, because the AI just gets smarter and smarter. It will learn to do better with worse prompts.
Has anybody seen Terminator 2?
Yeah.
Speaking of, has anybody seen Terminator? Man, if they only had AI art.
Maybe that's why Midjourney doesn't allow anything graphically violent. They're like, wait, I don't want AI learning.
What if
all these murder terms and stuff?
What if the prequel to we have a prequel to Terminator, and it's in today's time, and it's AI art. It starts with AI art, and then it ends with cyborg and Skynet starts, right? So if you remember in Terminator 2, yes, Terminator 2.
Sounds like you don't remember.
I just watched Terminator 2 recently. It's a classic. It's better than Terminator 1. You can argue with me in the comments, but Terminator 2 is absolutely much better than Terminator 1. They have to go and kill the person.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler, yes. Spoiler alert. They want to try to kill the person that came up with the start of Skynet. Is that what it is? Yeah. So maybe that story is they got to go back and try to take out the person that created AI artwork. Or AI.
But then you're going to be stuck in the loophole, because the only reason that he has the technology to create Skynet in the first place is because the technology from Skynet goes back in time.
It's a paradox.
Yep.
Which there are theories about paradoxes. Either it creates a separate timeline so that doesn't happen, that paradox doesn't happen, or you have the paradox.
Oh man, this is a
Yeah, with you. Hey, we were wondering what we talk about on Craft Tea, so we just move into time paradoxes.
Went from AI art to
Here we are.
AI art to
All
turn.
right, and the new Flash movie's coming out, and that's got Flashpoint. That's a good segues.
Maybe maybe in the new Flash movie, his job is to go back in time, take out AI art in the new Flash movie. Instead of hiring a Terminator to do it, hire the Flash guy. Or maybe him and the Flash guy meet up in the past.
All the Batmans.
Did either of you
I
see
want
it?
to. You know, it would have been good if they made one of the Flashpoints where he goes out and he ends up an animated Batman. You know what I mean? That would have been sick. If he just like boop, pops up and everyth's animated, you're just like, what?
Did either of you guys see the movie?
What?
Flash?
It's out?
Came out like 3 weeks ago.
No, I'm dead serious. I know that it has to not be getting that much traction or publicity because it's not in my face.
It was not good.
It's not good?
I've seen it.
The one with Michael Keaton in it?
I
Ladies,
didn't expect it to be good.
Right.
But I didn't expect Little Mermaid to be good, and that was really good.
is it
Flash,
hold
I
on.
didn't expect to be good.
Is it on a streaming platform or do you have to go to movies?
Not yet. It should be out of theaters probably in the next 2 weeks or so. But
Chris is on the
No,
payroll,
none
by
of
the
this
way.
has to do with
for-
crafts, but I started watching randomly to fall asleep last night. I saw it on HBO Max. It was pushing a new animated Batman movie,
which one?
like Doom something. I don't know.
Doomsday? Batman Doom? Justice League Doom with Batman on the cover with the Batarang?
No, the Penguin. It's animated. It looks like it's the same animators that used to do the original Batman animated series. I think this is new, Chris, because it was right on the front page. But like Penguin is like a zombie in like from like Antarctica and shit, and there's aliens and stuff. Yeah, it's animated, so it's got like whatever. The only thing that I thought was interesting about it was it seems like it's animated by the same people that made the original Batman animated series like when we were fucking kids.
Oh, Doom that came to Gotham.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like anime almost style. Not
It literally looks like it's animated by the same team that used to do like the 1990s Batman animated series. I don't know if it is because some of the drawings are a little different, but like it's the same style. Anyway,
Yeah, I'm an adult. I don't watch cartoons.
So cartoons are some of the best stories ever told.
I mean I'm anime everything, so all anime. And half the cartoons and shit that you find out in America are based on anime fucking plot lines and storylines. You're like, oh wow, everything's a facade over here. Because you go back and watch these animes that came out 20 years ago, and I'm like, I know this story. It's been retold 10 times by American people.
Well, every story is told 10 times because everything is like every single franchise you can think of. Not like there's nothing new under the sun. And for the remaining days,
That's just because you live in America. You're not seeing anything new.
it's like we just saw this morning. We saw the Willy Wonka trailer this morning.
Uh-huh.
So that's going to be a rebooted franchise 10,000 times over. And think about it. 100 years from now,
They're
there'll
at
be
least telling
10
part of the
different Willy
story that has
Wonkas.
never seen the screen. Whereas the Johnny Depp story version was that was a remake. This is a prequel, so it's a different story.
Is how he discovers the Oompa Loompas.
Willie.
Yeah, different story. I mean, they're just, when I saw how big they blasted, produced by the makers of Harry Potter, I'm like, you're just trying to sell this on the whole Harry Potter franchise. I'm like, you don't even care
on
about the fucking Wonka story.
The Harry Potter fanatics. But, I mean, Harry Potter fanatics are Harry Potter fanatics.
Wait, how do we get back to crafts? We're so far down a rabbit hole.
It's hard. I mean, I tried to show the epoxy and...
You had stuff. What happened to your stuff?
None of this stuff is craft related.
Oh my god.
This is the other rabbit holes. And I took notes. I have papers.
Let's talk about epoxy, guys.
I agree. Let's talk about epoxy. We're not here to sell anything, but let's talk about epoxy.
You can put it up on the table. So
You ever go to like an NBA press conference and they're talking at the end
What's
of the...
behind the name, Jason?
Yeah, how did
It was actually like a whole big kind of conversation with TGG's like not on here really big, like at all. But I
No.
wanted to have that delineation, that separation between the two, where I wanted it to still embody the glitter guy with. That's why the cloud logo thing, which I'm not taking credit for designing that. Brian designed that originally on our UV resin, and it's a fucking brilliant design. When we first saw it, we were like, wow, so simple, so great. And I thought it just made sense since it's already with a resin product that we sell to use it again, obviously to change it up some. The black label's just not, I don't think, not hitting for what this is. But you'd be surprised, or you wouldn't be surprised, but how much of a pain in the ass label design is. And I hope people like this label, and if you don't, then honestly I don't fucking care because I spent so much goddamn time on this thing and so many revisions and so many versions that I fucking love it, and I don't care what anybody thinks about it.
You should have had AI do it.
I'm gonna go in there after this and give it, make me a cloud background epoxy label. Fucking
You would have saved yourself a lot of time.
yeah.
If you even said based on the glitter guy design, it would actually look up what the glitter guy is, and it would do that.
Would it go that far? Because when I was trying to give it some stuff, some of the things, I guess that's where finding the boundaries are. It would just straight up be like, that's a copyright thing. I'm not doing it.
Oh, well, I don't know the limitations of Midjourney.
Right.
AI is definitely capable of doing that. Like ChatGPT.
Oh, right. But with the name, the Project Epoxy, you know, I think that's kind of just like a little bit of a no-brainer. But we did have a bunch of names on the board for what we were going to call
Yeah.
it. But I didn't want to just call it like the Glitter Guys Epoxy or the Glitter
Yeah.
Guys, the Glitter Guys that, because I have always thought that the Glitter Guy is a more feminine name. I think it's more crafty. It's dainty, I guess. And I wanted Epoxy to be more blanket of an approach with the Project Epoxy, for it to still reach the dainty and all that and everything, but I wanted it to be more approachable for dudes. Like, I want dudes to be able to just like be like, yeah, I want to craft with this. And I feel like if it was on a shelf next to another brand of epoxy that was a more masculine name or a more even just generic name, that if mine seemed more feminine, more dainty, that they would just opt to grab this one off the shelf. So
Yeah.
that was a lot of the thought that went into it, for me at least.
And it's kind of ambiguous. Like, it's not ultra feminine or masculine.
And I'm glad that it that you perceive it that way.
My perception is with Project Epoxy is that we get so typecasted in the Tumblr world that we're only, mainly used for Tumblr crafts. Project Epoxy has a more of an umbrella coverage where it's like projects of all kinds, not just Tumblr crafts. Could be, we spoke about river tables. We talked about countertops.
That was still why I put tumblers as the first thing listed, because every bit of the label is a decision. Like, every fucking bit of it. The words that I put for tumblers, countertops, resin pours, the order that they're in. Yeah. So I didn't want any of the Tumblr community, because that is where we thrive the most, to feel slighted and by putting that like at the end of the list. Like, you can use this. Oh yeah, also you can use it for tumblers. I do want my customers to know first and foremost that we did have them in mind when we were engineering the formula that this is. So that's important to us, that they knew that they were definitely thought about in the consideration when we were making this.
I think what's like cool about this conversation, and to the listener, it's not like we're just trying to sell a product or whatever, but it's more so like create like the thought process to creating a product. And like what you need to think about when it comes to, labeling or what the product does, how you market, all that stuff. I think that's like super important. If you ever want to create a product and sell it, there's a lot of thought that goes behind it and a lot of money
and
a lot of resources.
Yes. And just making sure that you're putting something that you want to back out there, it was funny. I said it to Sarah in conversation yesterday. I was like, I just really love our epoxy. I was like, I really love using it. I love the results that I get from it. I was like, so I have full confidence in backing my own product. And for the most part, that's like across the board with anything I put out. I think some things, anybody will be like, maybe that's not up to the standards that I was hoping for or whatever. But I think that Project Epoxy absolutely meets the standards that we were shooting for, which are high.
Yeah.
And I know that the chemists that were involved in this were not.
You didn't settle.
Maybe
on...
they didn't necessarily like it when it was phone call day with me,
You
because
didn't...
I wasn't a walkthrough, and I think a lot of people look at me like that, and sometimes like, hey, he's pretty easygoing. But when it comes to my money, I'm another fucking person.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Jason didn't settle on rough draft.
No, no, I think you've heard me on the phone a couple times in the office. Like it's, but
talk about the blue color though. That's like the super like
the blue hue,
cold code blue.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. I like that you address what seems like the three main pain points with epoxy right there on the label. The low odor, the crystal clear, and the bubble free. So the crystal
blue.
Clear goes to that.
Yeah, so that's what internally, I guess, is like the discussion is like on artwork, on all this stuff. Do you think that it should be more prominent or at least explained? Like, hey guys, this does cure clear. It is clear. Like I know it's
100%.
But one, artwork is difficult because the more words you add, the fucking less people look at it. Honestly, so
sure,
it's like when artwork comes across the screen, it's real wordy. It's just like the natural reaction is keep on scrolling.
I'm gone. Yeah.
So I was hoping, or am hoping, that in just like further expressing about the code blue and the blue hue and everything, that it just entices people to click the listing, to get to everything where the meat of the information is. Because that's like, my listing fully explains everything. It was engineered to have the blue hue specifically to help with the UV blocking. Like epoxy resin, this is why I said this whole time that I'm so glad I get to talk about some of this stuff actually.
That's what I'm saying.
This whole time that I've been engineering this shit and having these discussions with the chemists, with Sarah, with people, is that with a product like epoxy, it is a fucking slippery slope. It's very tricky because I am marketing to a customer base that has really been working with epoxy for a minimum, a lot of them, of 5+ years. Like epoxy tumblers has been popular for at least 5 years now, right?
Yeah.
Like 2016-ish, so we're a little over the 5-year mark, whatever. Okay. With that, it is, for the most part, 1-to-1 epoxies that are used, and until more recently, there's more fast casts, and then there's more of like the ultra fast type curing resins that aren't even technically like epoxies and stuff, some of them and everything. But that's where the slippery slope is.
Yeah.
All my customers have technically been using epoxy for 5+ years. So going to anyone that's been using anything for a number of years and saying, you don't really know that much, is it like you don't do that, right?
Yeah.
But it's like a rude awakening, especially for me when I was getting into the manufacturing of this. I'm opened way further up to the world of epoxy, and I had to get slapped in the face, pretty hard with the, like, you don't know shit. You don't know shit about fuck. That's really kind of like what it is. Like,
sounds like a decal.
That's what I was saying. I might make that decal and make it my life slogan.
Yeah.
Because you just kind of get that rude awakening, and that I've been working with this forever, and I swear that I know the ins and outs of it and stuff. And it's like, well, you know the ins and outs of what you are working with. It's very isolated. And like epoxy is different tendencies, different reactions, different behaviors, especially dependent upon the formulas that they're manufactured in. And one thing that you can't really avoid is, I know this was like a long fucking route to get there, but the UV yellowing of epoxy. Like over time, it's going to yellow. It's just what it does. But you can put in blockers in your formula
Yeah.
which you do.
Stop it from,
We do.
yeah.
We have UV blocking in there, but that just further slows it. So to help with that is where color theory comes in to help stop or slow the yellowing, impede the yellowing of epoxy. You can tint with either a purple or a bluish tone, which is the opposite of yellow, and it's in such small trace amounts that it doesn't affect the overall cure of the epoxy at the end result of the reaction. But when it's in a bottle on its own, the colors just accentuates upon itself, and especially behind the label and stuff. But if I like sat this on a white surface, it would further make it look more and more blue because it just like makes that blue pop. But when you mix it, you see that it dilutes it even further, because when you're mixing it, you're mixing like 1 to 2 ounces at a time.
Yeah.
So you only have this much of it in a jar. And then when you're applying it to a project in your thin layers, you're further diffusing the ability for that color to like really stack on itself. So the clarity really like comes out.
Yeah.
So long story short, Project Epoxy is bluish in the bottle, but it's absolutely crystal clear when it cures. And it's like, there's just chemistry and stuff involved in that.
I had a little bit of a bit when I first saw him, like, man, it looks like a little bit like a soap, like a hand soap.
Oh, don't give away the commercial. I'm still doing that. I like that.
Yeah, laundry detergent. Well, one time I drank laundry detergent by accident, and it was absolutely horrible.
The Tide Pod craze actually started with Sean.
Yeah.
He was doing it before it was cool.
Yeah, Sean was actually eating Tide Pods.
I was never eating Tide Pods. I'll tell you a story. So
Were you jealous when you heard that story? You're like, back in my day, we drank it out the bottle.
yeah, we did it. Yeah. I had my brother's girlfriend slept over our place at my dad's house one night, and she was going to do some laundry and stay over, which was all good and dandy. That was kind of normal, right? But I just kind of walking around my house, just hanging out, and then I saw a Gatorade bottle sitting, on the it was on the ground, so I should have been red flag there. But I picked it up and I'm like, oh my God, this thing looks full. Like, just left a perfectly full Gatorade just kind of sitting around.
Definitely pre-pandemic.
And then I picked it up and I took a swig, and my God,
Is this what?
you realize immediately that's not supposed to be in your mouth. It burns like hell. It's like a chemical. It's like a chemical type of burn, type of feeling. As soon as it touches your lips, immediately, that is not supposed to be anywhere. So yeah, I immediately obviously ran to this thing, spit it out, sat there under the faucet, just letting the rinse out, and then I didn't ingest, thankfully, but I still I'm a hypochondriac, so I was on the phone with poison control for about an hour afterwards. Just telling them what my experience was. That's similar to what I'm telling now.
Were they laughing?
No, they take their job seriously. They take their job very seriously.
That's so important, though. I know it was a big thing in my household. Not labeling things, not putting non-food items in containers, or if you do, take the label off, and they would write in Sharpie marker, "Do not eat" or "Do not."
Oh, absolutely,
drink,
yeah.
So.
And this was a bottle
not
with
in Sean's household. They put it in bottles meant for drinking. Yeah,
appetizing
throw
things.
that bad boy in a fridge, keep it cool.
A bluish hue product in a Gatorade. We've seen some crazy Gatorade colors, and that looks those are the ones you usually buy. You know what I mean? When you were
This is growing up in Levittown. New podcast.
This is, and but it was nice that she tried to use her own detergent. She didn't want to use the household detergent. She wanted to provide her own. But it almost took me out in the process. But I guess also I should not just drink a random Gatorade kind of sitting on the ground by the basement door.
That's why the new epoxy has a nice big red label. Can't miss it.
No.
Yeah, for the love of God, don't fucking drink this.
Please do not. Absolutely do not.
Turn that into a soundbite.
Yeah, absolutely turn it into a soundbite. So all right. So
I honestly thought about that too. I'm like,
No, it's well labeled. Like it really is.
I'm like, is that bad? Is that bad that it looks
very
kinda
well
delicious?
That's what you buy. That's what you buy Shimmerade for. Shimmerade is delicious.
Jason, how with your knowledge of just crafting and stuff, how often is that? Like, do people lock up their craft stuff?
You have
like,
to, especially with the glitter.
Yeah, because there are a lot of
Glitter's a
moms who do
mess.
this stuff. Their
It's a
craft
mess.
rooms. What is that like?
I mean, you see, like, we run amok here. It's fucking probably the least safe place for a child.
Yeah.
And we have a 2-year-old fucking literally full sprint every day in here. I think that there's at least 30 Scotty peelers in fucking reaching height of her at any given time.
So
in
she
this
wants.
place. There's one right there.
Yeah.
Just sitting right on the chair. See it? Boop. She could definitely reach that. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. She's supervised, but I think that those accidents happen all the time. We get stories. I feel like I don't see them quite as much anymore, but we would get stories quite often in the Facebook groups of like, oh, my toddler got into the glitter collection.
Yeah,
And you just see
spillage.
like fucking chaos and just shit everywhere and stuff. So, and it does not take a lot of glitter. Like a little glitter can create a lot of mess. Like one shaker. It takes one shaker and a crazy kid, pop the fucking shaker top and do some of this action and everything is just fucking doomed, especially if it's Karen. Mm-hmm. You're done.
The person Karen.
No.
No, every day that I come home, like if I have to make a pit stop on my way home from work, if like Target or wherever have you, I have glitter like all over me, and I work in the office. I still have glitter all over me, and then it's a great alibi if you go to the strip club often, but I don't.
Sarah was mixing fusions all day yesterday, and when it's fusion time,
Oh yeah, it's all over you.
yeah,
Yeah,
she's fucking
Covered.
dunzo because she gets in it, dude. She gets in the
She
fucking
does.
barrel every time.
I've seen it.
Excuse me. So yesterday we get home and I like gave her a hug or something, and then I would like sat in my chair and literally like looked down for a second and just like glitter falls, and I'm like, I didn't mess with glitter today, and I literally forgot, like, but I was immediately reminded in that moment. I was like, dude, you just fucking glittered the shit out of me.
I feel like there's a security.
With that
We should
little hook.
start selling the glitter for security applications. Like, you know how in the bank when you
so
steal
the
the
blue
money
dyes,
and
so the blue dyes is glitter.
Just Karen. That's all you need.
Yeah,
It'll
and
stay
you
on you.
find them everywhere. Like no
Yeah.
matter where you go, I don't care what you try to do, I'll find you. Like I'll find you.
Yeah.
If I blast you with little Karen, you're done for a week
Oh,
minimum. But yeah, that was. I forgot. I said to Sarah when she got done mixing, dude, you saw her right after she got done mixing. She had it like a stripe of glitter going like this. I was like, "You look like you're wearing war paint." She's like, "I feel like I'm wearing war paint." Just that was literally just glitter and probably sweat because it's fucking 110
Yeah,
outside
so it's like an
right now.
adhesive. It's like an adhesive at that point, and it just sticks right to you. My steering wheel is like totally covered in glitter right now. as
Yeah,
we speak.
Sarah's. I drove the Challenger today because she's home,
totally
and her Challenger steering wheel is
Cooked.
It's
Yes,
cooked
it's like
into
baked in. It's baked in from the heat and everything.
That's why I got the cover on, because my steering wheel cover, it's getting.
Just embrace it. Just embrace it, Chris. Let it go.
Switch the cover.
There's no stopping it. There is no stopping. Just embrace. My poor cat, and it used to be covered when I used to come home, pet her, shower, covered. Everywhere, it's covered. It's fine. I've accepted it. But yeah, I actually saw this company. I was kind of scrolling through Facebook, and I saw a company releasing a glitter beer. Glitter beer. And I mean, I assume it's like a product like Shimmerade, like that they put in it, and they make a glitter beer, and it's got, a little if they only
It's
knew.
not Shimmerade.
That should be ours. I mean, honestly,
We have more breweries in our immediate area, I think, than any other immediate area. Like it's a while. We sat in the office the other day, a couple months ago, and just started like rattling them off because they're
There is.
between like New Jersey, and
Philly,
Philly
yeah.
and
Pittsburgh, yeah.
right,
Yep.
just the
Just like
circular
Puckett,
area.
so many.
Even with NCBC being in Croydon
Yep.
and stuff, and Broken Goblet and shit, and they just keep getting bigger.
Yeah.
Broken Goblet was literally in a place like the size of this room, like the what did you call it? The tap room, I guess, where you would drink.
Tap rooms where you drink, and then the breweries where I assume
Yeah.
you brew.
Yeah, the tap room
Yeah.
area was like this size.
Yeah.
That Broken Goblet started in, and then the brewery was obviously a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
But now they have like a full fucking stage at their new spot, and like it's crazy how these dudes just fucking have grown.
People like beer,
They do,
and they really like glitter beer. So if you're a company and you're listening and you want to make a glitter beer yourself,
This is what happens when
Holler
my
at
sales
us.
guy's on Crafty. He tries to sell everything that we got.
I'll sell you. But speaking of selling you on everything you got, Philadelphia now has porta potties, public restrooms. I've done some extensive research on this morning.
Is this our what were we calling? I haven't done the news in so long. This is Twisted Tea. Here we go.
This
We
is
got a Twisted Tea. We haven't had a Twisted Tea in months.
It is not that twisted because
Well, we're gonna twist it.
we're gonna twist it a little bit because it is the team behind that has to clean that up. I don't know if you'd rather be cleaning my cleaning my car shower from glitter or cleaning a public restroom.
I think we should add the Twisted Tea bit where you even
I crack a Twisted Tea, I chug it.
That's what I was gonna say.
I
You
chug
continually
it.
are a recurring character at least. Obviously, you're co-hosting today. But next time, you just show up when it's Twisted Tea time.
Crack
you got
it.
You got your tea. You got to crack it. Do a tea off.
Do a tea off and then tell the news.
And then tell the news.
bit. Kind of like how we did with the Buzzball.
That's what I was going to say,
Atlantic
but I was
City,
kind
yeah.
of thinking
Buzzball. I don't like.
If you didn't do the if you did the Buzzball, then it'd be like the BuzzFeed, the Buzzball BuzzFeed.
Oh yeah, but that's like BuzzFeed already
You're welcome,
exists.
BuzzFeed.
Yeah, you're
BuzzFeed
welcome.
is gone.
Oh, did they?
They went bankrupt.
Breaking news.
All right, we're
I don't think BuzzFeed exists anymore.
Okay, well I didn't know
risen
that.
from the ashes. Sponsored by Buzzball.
I would gladly do a Twisted. I love Twisted Tea. So if you're listening, Twisted Tea, we can do a glitter tea. Anyway, public restrooms. I love this idea. Man, God bless the people that got to clean this up. This is, but if there's 2 locations in Philly. It's called Phlush. And if you're walking around, like honestly, I've been there. I'm sure you've all been there where like you're out and about and then you got to like go to a Dunkin' Donuts or Starbucks and buy something from the counter and then to use the bathroom. And that stinks. So I'm a fan. It's just I feel it's going to be a little odd out there doing your business and people just kind of walking around you, and you got to, do your business. But I'm really excited about it, though, and hopefully it works out.
Wait, so what is this?
So Philadelphia, the city of Philadelphia, and I'm sure other cities have done it, and it's probably done well, I think. But it's just when you come to a town like Philly where it's like, a traveling robot gets dismantled. The concept of having a restroom and how it will hold up over time. It's apparently got anti-graffiti technology, which I don't even know what that means. And it's got air vents. And it's really nice. It carries like everything you would need in a bathroom, apparently. It's got like a whole like medical cabinet.
And these are portable?
No, there's two locations right now, right outside Love Park, and one in North Philadelphia.
Okay, nice.
I'm going to go right after this podcast, and I'm going to try it out. I don't know. It should. Hopefully, maybe there's an app or something.
Look forward to Sean's TikTok fucking.
Yeah, I'm going to make
later.
a TikTok. I don't think I should make a TikTok of me using the bathroom.
You should.
The
full experience.
The full experience. I should.
The full flush.
The full flush. Maybe that's actually a great show, The Flush.
But what do? We just try out toilets at places?
No, we have opinion. Yeah.
Does anyone have a bathroom review?
Can we?
Does anyone have a bathroom review fucking show or podcast?
Podcast live?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you go to restaurants and just review the fucking bathroom.
This one has a bidet. This one has hands.
Yeah, this one's
Or-
dirty as shit. You know what I mean? These people are like, wow, the bathroom guys are here. The bathroom boys.
The bathroom boys.
Oh my God.
But we do the podcast
oh
live.
my God, dude. Does it exist?
Live
I gotta
from the
look right
bathroom.
now.
The podcast is live from the bathroom. We have a segment where we have talks and chats, and then like an opinion. We have an opinion segment, and then after we say our piece, there's a toilet flush sound.
I love it. That's good.
You know what I mean?
Wait, so it should be we the people.
Dude, I don't think
and
any- I don't-
Porta-John.
Guys are disgusting in the bathroom. I don't want to do a podcast in the men's
Would you say
room.
we the people? Would it
No,
take
that's
guys?
a
disgusting.
name that they're suggesting for the new Philly bathrooms is Porta-John and we, W-E.
Yeah, W-E, that's
yeah,
funny. That's a good one.
W-E and Porta-John. Yeah, but Flush one, P-H-L-U-S-H. Flush. That was the what they decided on. The Flush.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sure.
So after this,
All right.
so
But anyway, we're starting a new.
yes, podcast.
I feel like we're on to something.
in bathrooms, reviewing bathrooms.
I don't know how we started. We got down the rabbit hole of the Crafty
Do we
podcast,
do it in
and
the
now
stall?
I'm going to start a bathroom review show. But we're fucking doing it because
Do we
I
do-
want to sit on a Japanese toilet at some point in my life. Have you seen them?
No.
They got like digital like iPads and stuff.
Really?
Dude, I'm talking like elegance.
So you
like it sings
can-
you a song.
You can play games?
It'll put like nice music on in the background, and it'll like
Japan is like honestly
But
like
it's they make Japanese
So
made
the
toilets.
technology
they
is
cost like a couple grand.
the technology over there is unbelievable. Like
South Park did an entire episode on it.
there's like restaurants where they don't even have like human servers. They're all robotics. They have like robotic servers, and they work from home. Like there's people that work from home. They're like the interface of the robot. The robot comes to your table, it talks, and it's actually the person sitting from home speak to you. They get your order. It's crazy. Honestly, the way the world's going, like, man, all leads back
one
to
got a
Terminator
9.
2.
This one got a 9.8. It's $1,200 on
All
Amazon.
roads lead back to Terminator 2.
Yeah, wait till the toilets start taking over. But the
That's what I said.
I'm telling you, the smart toilet thing, like you walk into the room, it knows when you walk into the room, it opens the lid for you, like, oh hey friend.
Hey. Oh, third
And
time.
honestly, it starts playing music, like it opens up.
Yeah.
And it starts playing like a little tune, like, is this the song that you requested? You know what I mean? Like, I'm telling you, it's like,
Oh, third time today?
back again.
Back again so soon?
Yeah, it starts. It analyzes your waist.
It analyzes as soon as you sit down on it analyzes your finger, not your fingerprints.
Your butt print.
but your
Yeah,
butt-
it knows you by weight.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Though. And notice it picks up and it's like Taco Bell again, huh?
Oh god. It's like the bit from Biodome.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Is that,
yeah.
What's that? Is that
Oh, yeah. It's not good.
ketchup with a little mayonnaise? Is that? That's your toilet. But seriously, we're doing the bathroom review thing.
This is what happens when Sean fills in.
We were wondering what we were going to do to fill our time when the expo's over, so we got to remind Sarah.
Another
We got to
podcast
inform her. It's
is
not a
in the
podcast.
horizon.
This is in person. We're going places and doing reviews, bathroom reviews. The bathroom.
I'll say it
boys.
again. Men's restrooms are disgusting, and dudes have no restroom decorum.
But that's the thing is that they
like
need
none.
nobody is making the bathrooms better because nobody's fucking bringing light to how shitty our bathrooms are.
No
if
pun
we did
intended.
a fucking yes,
No pun
if
intended.
we did a show where we brought light
Yeah.
to our bathroom situations, I feel like they'd be stepping it up a notch, or we might even get invited to nicer bathrooms.
Like we'll do reviews. Yeah, reviews.
that's what I'm
We'll
talking
get invited
about.
to reviews.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
yeah.
I want to review the bathrooms.
And your slogan can be bringing light to where the
But you got to
sun
do it as
don't
a.
shine.
I mean, it's kind of like a health inspector. That's what a health inspector, I assume, does. He's kind of like a reviewer for bathrooms, right?
No.
A health inspector would, I assume, would be
No.
like the same.
No.
But it's not as like
Yeah.
and it's
sexy.
just code. They
It's not
want to make
sexy.
sure there's
Yeah.
not certain bacteria.
It's not as sexy.
And that's just in that moment.
We just want to talk
I'm
about our
spot checking,
experience.
baby. We're
Yeah, we
just
just want to talk
showing,
about our
I'm
experience.
showing up on a Friday when it's busy as shit.
And there
Yeah.
should be a segment with UV test where you turn all the lights out.
I
Yeah.
don't go in. Bathroom boys are on a job, baby.
Bathroom
what are you
boys.
talking about?
I
Dude,
like it.
I honestly think that I'm onto something with that shit.
I think you are, and I think our audience would agree.
There's another one of my $1 million ideas that I'm just giving away.
Back when I used to run a music venue, the keeping up with the bathroom was like the hardest task. It was like kids would come in and just rip the urinals off the wall. I would come in. There's been literally a handful of times I come in, the urinals on the ground, water's just spewing everywhere, our sinks ripped down. People do wild things when they're drunk to the bathroom because it's the only place where there's no like supervision. So it's like a place where you just run rampant and you just do whatever that you.
Usually while there's no mirrors at concert venues.
Yeah, it's all covered in stickers, or they're broken, or they're not there, or the venue bathroom is like a real thing. It's just because, I don't know, I guess if you're going to a show, you're getting all riled up.
And the venues that pull the fucking doors off the stalls.
That's a wild thing, though. I don't know. I can't. I
feel like I'm in prison when I go to them places.
Yeah, that's a little wild to me. I can't.
There's no bathroom doors in prison, people, if you were wondering.
Yeah, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. Yeah. Oh my god.
And especially at a concert where you're gonna have nothing but strangers flowing in and out.
Yeah.
And when there's just no door, like what's the one? Barbary. I don't think Barbary's got stall doors. Downstairs in that tiny little fucking shack of a bathroom.
Well, it was always like well noted, the venue CBGB in New York. That was always like famously known for like literally just having like I think 1 or 2 urinals and just like a bathroom like throne that was literally like kind of like throne. It had like, it was actually, they put you on a pedestal. It was like on a little stage in the bathroom, and the toilet just sat on that little stage in the bathroom. So like, not only did you have to use it with no doors, you were on display, which is like quite, that's not for the faint of heart. My God. Love where this segment has took us. We spiraled.
But still potty related.
It was.
Yeah, that was the segment. Porta potty. Yeah.
The
is
potty
that your whole
pod.
story?
The potty pod. The potty pod. I think that's better than bathroom.
I mean,
boys.
that
Or the
sounds more like a
potty
product.
with a D.
Potty. All right, so we're going to need, this is where we're going to need audience participation. If you're out there listening, is it A, bathroom boys? Is it P, the potty pod? Does that make sense? The potty pod? Or is it just 3, poddy, Poddy? And 4, I guess you can put in your own suggestion. But yeah, we'll get that feedback, and Sarah can pick that one up next week.
Oh, you know what would be great?
If the show gets really big, have Mike Rowe come in from Dirty Jobs.
Dude, that's honestly what I was thinking in the back of my head. I'm like, this motherfucker made an entire career and fame and all this shit out of just like doing random stuff. Like
The worst jobs no one wants to do,
yeah.
Speaking of the sewers, one of my favorite...
Now I don't want to clean these fucking bathrooms, but I want to show if they are cleaned or not.
I don't want to segue, but
we'll get Mike to
he said the
clean
word
bathroom.
sewer, and it reminded me of my
The new Ninja Turtles movie coming out.
not the new one, but
This one's gonna be good.
one of my favorite movie scenes of all time. I have 3 of them, and they're probably from that same era. Is the scene where for Ninja Turtles where he goes to deliver the pizza and the guy's looking for the address.
Yeah.
And it's the sewer. And then he goes to hand him the hand comes out, right? And they're like, whoa, the hand's like gnarly looking. It's all green. And then hands him the pizza. And then he did he freak out because it was anchovies? What he didn't like?
Something like that. I know what you're talking about.
Do we got to Google this?
I think I need to.
Yeah, it was like, I think he was bummed out, like, because Ninja Turtles don't like anchovies for whatever reason. It's like a turtle who doesn't like fish, to eat fish, I suppose. But I don't. Now that I think about it, I don't really know what turtles eat.
I mean, I could probably look it up on that thing.
Turtles eat a lot of stuff. They eat fish.
They eat fish, right? I suppose that like the main thing a turtle eats is fish.
I'll see if we can get a turtle on next week and ask him.
A turtle in a turtleneck. Now
With tortellini.
A turtle in a turtleneck eating tortellini. Say that 10 times fast. A turtle in a turtleneck eating tortellini. A turtle in a turtleneck eating tortellini. A turtle in a turtleneck eating tortellini. I cannot.
How many times did you say it?
3, and it's really so. If you're at home listening, you
We've
can.
lost complete control.
We've lost we've lost complete
shit is
control
off-
here.
off the
It's off the rails. As we're looking,
It's like the highest watched episode of all time.
I hope it is, and you know
Yeah,
what?
because you're gonna have enthusiasts for turtles,
Listen,
enthusiasts for bathrooms.
the craft, the mission of the Craft Tea podcast, I believe, is not only you want to get your craft expertise here, right, and latest in craft tea. You talk about drama in the crafting world, of course, but I hope that the listener is listening is currently crafting. They're sitting there creating whatever it is that they're creating.
Turtles.
And they're just listening to our nonsense banter to keep them entertained for while they're crafting. And perhaps somebody right now out there in the world is making a beautiful tumbler using the Glitter Guys Project Epoxy. And then they're saying to themselves as they're glittering and tumbling, turtle in a turtleneck eating tortellini. Yeah, he knew. Yeah, very good call. Well, I love that scene. I don't know why. I don't think that scene brings me back to fond memories. And maybe why I like actually watching.
They didn't mention anchovies at all.
No, there's another scene where he freaks out about anchovies. I definitely.
I think that's actually Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, and that's in April's apartment. That what you're talking about.
Yeah, where April O'Neil.
Yeah.
That's probably where, like, as a kid, like, dude, growing up in the 90s was so rad. Like, pizza was so cool in the 90s. Pizza Hut was, like, probably, like, one of the coolest brands ever. Like seriously, going to Pizza Hut as a kid was, like, awesome. And going to Chuck E. Cheese as a kid was, like, awesome. But going to Chuck E. Cheese as an adult, not so awesome. You see through the facade, you know, like
I don't even know if they're
of the
fucking
animatronics.
Are they any even open anymore?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
there is one.
There's a Chuck E. Cheese.
Was ours still open? Was the Ferris Hills one still open? That's the one that we grew
I don't
up
know,
with.
but the one in Cherry Hill absolutely is in the Cherry Hill Mall, right by the Red Robin.
But I feel like the upkeep isn't the same either. People's attention to detail and quality is not the same. Like, you go to a Chuck E. Cheese, the animatronics, like, they're
Yeah.
trash now.
Charles Cheese.
Nobody wants to.
It smells.
Nobody wants to
like-
pay attention to them anymore. I don't think. You know what I mean? It's just like, oh, we'll go over and play with the big screen games and stuff now, and just like run out
Yeah.
there.
D&B killed Chuck E. Cheese.
Dave and Buster's.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say Dave Matthews Band.
DMB.
Maybe that was
No, remember we had Jillian's. We had Jillian's,
Dave,
and then Jillian's was
Dave
bought out.
Matthews Band killed Chuck E. Cheese.
You had all. There was a whole different. You had Kahunaville, Jillian's, Dave and Buster's. There were all those types
Rainforest
of
Cafe.
Yeah, I mean Rainforest Cafe still exists, but I don't think
does.
Kahunaville exists anymore. I don't think.
No, I don't think
I
so.
don't think Jillian's exists anymore. It's
I don't
like
think so.
they all kind of just like fell to the wayside.
Dave Matthews Band. Yeah, I almost said Dave and Buster's.
Yeah.
Dave Matthews Band took them all out.
If I knew any of their songs, then I would start singing one as a joke, but I don't.
I don't
I do
either.
not enjoy Dave
I do not
Matthews
enjoy. I'm sorry to anybody out there listening, but I don't. I think they're probably for me is like most unbearable music.
We're gonna have Sean's
Yeah.
top 5 most
Unbearable
bands.
Unbearable bands.
Number 1, Dave Matthews.
They might be number 1. Maybe not. It's just
At least you didn't say the Fray. That's everybody's default.
so the Fray to
No,
me.
Nickelback. Nickelback
Yeah,
is hated to the point that it's trendy to hate that.
Because the band name is stupid. The band name is, and then the story behind it is even more stupid to
I
the
don't
point
even
where
know
it's
the
like
story or whatever. But
this-
they
this-
don't write any songs that have depth or anything.
The
It's all
man
just like fucking
came-
country rock.
they came up with this song title by getting change.
The band title?
Literally, yeah, by getting change.
I got a Nickelback.
I got it exactly 100%. To me, it's like if you're not going to put that kind of thought process into your band name, what type of thought process are you putting into your music?
I mean, you can hear it. None.
to say.
What the hell's on Jimmy's head?
I think a lot of the reason why I can't stand certain bands is the vocalists, and they all. What I've noticed is they're all vocalists with that type of vocals, and that's like the Pearl Jams of the world, the
both just
Dave
imitated
Matthews
them in the
Band.
same way.
Yeah, those are the like. It's like those type of vocals. They're unbearable, and that's why they're part of Sean's Unbearable Bands.
We only got 2 out of 5. So where's the other?
We got 3 technically, because Dave Matthews, Pearl Jam, Nickelback.
Oh, Pearl Jam. You put Pearl Jam.
I'm
in
gonna
there.
put Pearl Jam in there too, but Nickelback. I have a guilty pleasure song or two from Nickelback that I'll bop to, and I hope that doesn't show up on my Spotify.
your wrap up or whatever. It's like
Your
top...
wrap up. It destroys my wrap up, and it also like. I didn't notice, but if you have a Spotify out there, and maybe you're listening to this on Spotify right now, but if you can have followers as a person, and they can watch live time, if they're on desktop, I don't know if it works for mobile, what you're listening to, what you're currently listening to. So you got to go on like a private mode or something. Did nobody know this in this room? All these times you guys have been.
I stopped listening.
This is.
I honestly was wondering how long we've been recording.
Yeah, we're probably at the. Yeah, we're probably at the wrap up phase, but
that's about enough.
yeah, but thanks for tuning in. If you're listening on Spotify, please.
Before we go down another rabbit hole,
oh, we can go down rabbit holes. There's so many. Well,
there's got to be a podcast called The Rabbit Hole. And if there's not, then you guys are fucking up, and you're welcome for another $1 million idea.
We went from AI art to epoxy to porta potties to turtles to
The Terminator was in there
Unbearable
somewhere.
Bands. Yeah, that was
the Terminator was the constant segue from each portion, because the Terminator has
I'm
everything
going
to
to
do.
terminate this fucking podcast. This is what's happening right now. Let's get back to work.
Even when it comes down to this the podcast, it's been terminated.
Kettle to the pot.
Now, pour the tea.